Hi, this is Cindy McColley discussing Chapter 5, the Internet and the Marketing Mix. The learning objectives of this chapter are to apply the elements of the marketing mix in an online context, to evaluate the opportunities that the Internet makes available for varying the marketing mix, and to assess the opportunities for online brand building. Questions for marketers to ask is, how are the elements of marketing varied online? What are the implications of the Internet for brand development? Can the product component of the mix be varied online? How are companies developing online pricing strategies? And does place have relevance online? In 1963, Robert Bartels was a marketing academic, and he wrote a book called The History of Marketing Thought. And his famous quote was, "A marketer is like a chef in a kitchen, a mixer of ingredients." What his quote is referring to is that there are many variables that can be used and many key elements of the marketing mix that can be included to deliver proper marketing strategy for your target customers. And so basically you use all of the elements and all of the components associated with those elements to mix up the right ingredients for your target customer. Jerome McCarthy came up with the concept of the 4Ps, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. Booms and Bitter extended the 4Ps to the 7Ps, and that's often referred to as the service mix. So in addition to the 4Ps of product, price, place, and promotion, Booms and Bittner added people, process, and physical evidence. There is also an 8th P that is specific to the online, and that is the P of partnership. Just like traditional marketing, digital marketing affects the 4Ps and the 4Cs. The 4Ps, when originated, was long before digital marketing. And so the 4Ps, while very foundational and certainly very helpful and certainly a huge part of the online market, it was a lot more about push. And the 4Cs were created to talk more about the consumer and meeting their respective needs. So just from a high level, the product perspective was how the product can be extended in the digital environment. For price, you consider your online pricing strategies. Place is an element that really allows for extending your distribution beyond the brick and mortar when you're talking about the online environment. And promotion, from a digital perspective, allows a marketer to explore new techniques and technologies to promote the product beyond the offline. And again, the 4Ps are about pushing your product or service. And really, when they were created, there were no digital channels, but obviously there are ways to utilize those 4Ps online to extend your marketing. So in the 90s, a customer perspective was introduced, and again, that was called the 4Cs. They include cost, which is a discussion about what it costs to obtain your consumer or what it costs to engage your consumer. And that really correlates to price. The second is communication, and that correlates to promotions. And rather than focusing on product, the marketer would focus on the consumer needs or wants. So the C is simply consumer. And finally, customer convenience, which is most closely related to place. So all of the 4Ps and the 4Cs are ingredients to measure and add and mix in your pot of marketing for the best mix overall to meet your strategies and your target consumer needs. When creating the marketing mix online, a good marketer will consider the differences that can be introduced in the online environment. Think about how you can build your brand, extend the relationship with your customer, and even make a sale. When considering your marketing mix, think about the online customer and the variables that are important to them and adjust your mix accordingly. Also keep in mind that the customer and segments can be what is referred to as liquid, which means that they can adjust who they are depending on what channel they're engaging in. Think about a customer and their actions and their communications and their photos in a Facebook environment, let's say, versus a LinkedIn environment. very different customers. And as we learned from our most recent online lecture, brands are considering whether they should be liquid as well. And so that's a whole new mix, a whole new conversation in talking about the online marketing environment. So just like any marketing campaign, specifying your target market is the first priority, and then adjust the mix to meet your customer need. Now we'll go on to talk about the 4 Ps in a little bit more detail. The product variable of the marketing mix refers to the characteristics of product, service, or brand. Products should always start with the customer needs that are discovered through research and developed or modified based on their feedback or desires. There are a lot of alternatives to consider relative to product when marketing online. The 2 primary product categories include the core product and the extended product. The core product is just what you would expect. It's the actual product that you're making available to the customer for purchase. The extended product is all about the additional features, the services, or the benefits that the customer is able to offer beyond the core product. When considering the online space, the extended product offering can take on an entirely different dimension for the product. For example, an online customer can customize their product just like when you go online to buy a Nike shoe. You can create your own unique shoe. Another example is, as the author points out in figure 5.2 in your book, you can create your own unique map depending on the location, the colors of the map that you would like, and any other dimensions that are introduced. So you can see the concept is about the consumer really becoming both a producer and a consumer to create their own unique product, and that concept was coined prosumer. Now the long concept is a concept that has always interested me. The long tail concept revealed that the World Wide Web became an equalizer for products and brands because of the extensive amount of options that the customer now has available because of the Google search engine results page. Now, Chris Anderson wrote an entire book about the concept of the long tail about 10 years ago. And his theory is that the long tail reveals that our culture and our economy are increasingly shifting away from the focus of a relatively small number of merchants that are able to market to us, as he shows here at the head of the demand curve. As the cost of production and distribution fall, especially online, there's now less need to lump products and consumers into one-size-fits-all containers. In an era without the constraints of physical shelf space and other bottlenecks of distribution, narrowly targeted goods and services can be as economically attractive as mainstream fare. It's about showing up as Amazon and Barnes & Noble versus the local ma and pa store to sell you a book. The ma and pa store can now effectively compete and win against major stores. If you think about a Google results page, when you're looking for a book, you can see Barnes & Noble, then several small local stores offering you their version of what you may want. So they compete head-on with Amazon for the consumer business. Before the internet, that was not possible. Moving on to price as one of the variables in the marketing mix, price refers to just what you think. It is the pricing policies that are used to set price and define pricing models for products and services. There are a lot of theories on pricing and a lot of options and data, but relative to price, there are 2 basic views that are most often discussed. The first view suggests that if you market online, you will need to have a lower price. The thinking is that the customer has access to a lot more information, and there are a lot of opportunities to compare and contrast, and therefore there is much more consumer knowledge and pricing transparency. So for the same or similar products, there will be price standardization, and there will inevitably be a decrease in price. The second view is more factual rather than theoretical. Their view is if you look on what a customer actually does online, they'll go to Google, they'll type in what they're looking for, they'll see the site that they would like, and they click on that site. And most often, 89%, they buy while they're on that site. So they don't go back out and check other sites. Those are the bargain hunters, and they are out there. It's about 10%. But the majority of consumers, they'll look for what they want, they'll find it, and they'll get it done. They're online to complete a task. As a marketer, it's important that you serve up the results instantaneously to that consumer. You have to enable yourself to be found and to have the content they're looking for and to deliver the products and services that they're looking for. If you're able to do that, then price is not such a significant variable, and therefore you don't have to lower your price. So that's supporting the second view. Another key aspect associated with pricing is that it enables new models for marketers, such as auctions, price variability, dynamic pricing, and price testing. Place in the marketing mix refers to how the product is distributed to consumers. The main implication online of place includes place to purchase, which is a discussion about the distribution, the logistics, and the point at which the sale or other transactions take place. The second implication regarding place is the ability to extend your channel structures as a marketer. By using the internet, you can sell direct to consumers, and that's called disintermediation or eliminating the retailer. You can sell in conjunction with a partner, which is reintermediation, or you can use intermediators to sell as a group to a target consumer, which is referred to as counter-mediation. The third implication is channel conflict. If a manufacturer has typically used a retailer to sell to the consumer and begins selling direct, there could be a major conflict or issue. Think of cars and trucks and how they distribute through dealerships. If GM or Ford started selling direct to consumer, there could be a major conflict and potential loss of sales. However, in some cases, there are direct-to-consumer sales that actually increase the overall volume because it adds a new stream of customers that would have not had the otherwise opportunity to purchase from that marketer. The last implication of price is virtual organization, which suggests that companies have at least one aspect that have become virtual, and because of that, they have the ability to be flexible and have greater marketing opportunities. Now, the promotion variable of the marketing mix, I think, is most often thought of as advertising. There are a lot of other elements in promotions, including sales promotion, personal selling, public relations, and direct marketing. And promotions is all about communicating and informing customers and other stakeholders about what the organization has to offer, what are the products, what are the services. And promotion delivers those communications from the marketer to the end target or consumer. In summary, evaluating the opportunities provided by the internet for varying the marketing mix is a useful framework for assessing digital marketing strategy. Product, price, place, and promotion are variables with many elements that can be used in varying the marketing mix in the online context.